So let me preface this first by saying skip to the 10-minute mark halfway through the video to see me beat him the legit way on UVH6 True Mode on my aim and melee build, no less. Now do I do it in platinum time? Heck no. It's not possible on the kind of build I'm using. But I beat him, and I also beat him like without hardly any difficulty, to be honest. But I mean, the difficulty as usual is just staying on the stupid platforms. But that's actually even easier on an Onslaughter build, since your Rocket Punch really helps you get back. But the problem is you always feel disoriented, because it's like, oh great, where's the platform beneath me again? And let me just say, like, this is a game where if you go in fight for your life mode over the Abyss, you have no chance, because you can't grapple, you can't do anything. This is a game where on my Onslaughter aiming build, if you activate your Forge skill and you get stuck in the animation when you get forced off a platform, which happens all the time in this fight, and so activating a Forge skill is instant death most of the time, which is why I only use it in the beginning when you actually know when he's going to do his knockback crap. Otherwise, throughout the other phases, he's constantly knocking you back, as well as the mobs that are everywhere are also constantly knocking you back. And then he shoots a beam at you that knocks you back. So there's really, you can't even use your Forge skill on aiming in the next phases, because it's instant death. You can't do anything. Which is why, as I said this before, this fight is total bullcrap. It's yes, it is unfair. That is the word for it. It is a totally unfair fight for countless builds in this game. Anyone who says otherwise is just, well, they just have the meta build and they just feel good that they did a platinum, True Mode run on a meta build that, most of them didn't even design for the most part on their own, but got it from some other YouTuber who actually has no life but the game, which kudos to them. They're making a living off just pure gaming. I can't do that in my life, but they can. And some of the ones you've seen up there, they even said how many hours they have logged in this game, and it is absolutely insane. I'm talking thousands of hours, which, if you do the math from since the game released, means that it is not even a full-time job. It is an overtime job for them, the amount of hours they have invested in the game, proving that, it literally proves they have no life but the game. With the hours I've heard some of them say. There was one I remember. By the way, I had a cough earlier, so yeah, I have a cough. I had a cold, so I still have this lingering cough, sorry. But I remember one earlier who, I think it was 2 or 3 months after the game, I want to say, and he said in one video I watched, he said he had 500 hours already. And I'm like, when I did the math, I'm like, wow, you do have no life but this game. No wonder you have these insanely optimized builds that you're sharing with people, and it literally becomes the meta. And I really think because of that, the devs, when they design these bosses, it's based off those builds. That's why only those builds can actually have a fairly easy time in this fight. Everything else that's more a casual build, that's not purely based around damage, and that's not purely based around min-maxing your damage output on a spreadsheet stat numbers, you're going to have a hard and annoying time, and you're going to hate it. And you're justified to hate it. It really is just designed with those builds in mind, and nothing else. And anyone who comes back and says, "Oh, it's the point, it's the challenge," I would come back with saying, "Well, no. If your goal is to do that, then there should be balance to it. But there is no balance to it. Like this minion Vex I'm on right now that I'm not using to do this. By the way, I'm using a modded gun, and as I'll explain, I'm on easy difficulty, and I'll explain real quickly, probably in another minute, 5 or 6 minute mark, the actual exploit. But just to counter that point again, it's like you have countless builds like this one, like the build you're going to see me beat UVH6 True Mode on, that are OP everywhere else in the game. Like, they will trivialize countless UVH6 content, but it is only specific fights like this that they suddenly struggle against, and conveniently, it's also only these meta builds that these super YouTubers have made, and that these Devs are are the most aware of those builds, for sure, because of the popularity of them. And it's conveniently only them that don't really struggle, for the most part. There's exceptions, I'm sure, but for the most part, it's them. We all know them: Crit Harlow, Ranger Rafa, Bleed Build Vex, and really just Kill Skill, Green Skill Vex, too. You can throw them both in there. They're both using a lot of the same stuff, regardless. There's different variations of these builds. Ordnance Aimant. I have my Ordnance Aimant version. There's different variations, but for the most part, they're still using the same kind of synergy to their build, is my point. They're still the same build with variations for player preferences, but for the most part, the synergy is the same on all of them. And it's built around instant killing things and having some survivability so you can survive enough to instant kill them. That's pretty much it. Min-maxing damage, as always. But anyway, enough with that. If you're on the Reddit post where I shared this, I go far more into my rant there, so I'm going to leave that alone now. Let me just explain the exploit for the rest of you, that what I'm doing here. So, this is not mine. I just learned of this actually just reading a random YouTube comment. I don't remember the guy's name. I don't even think he had a channel anyway. But I won't take credit for it. It was just a random comment from another random video on the Bloom Reaper that made me see it, and I'm like, oh, I should share this info with people. But yeah, I won't take credit for like discovering this on my own. If you play this fight on UVH1 and you get platinum rank, you don't have to, it's still hard, I know. So challenge is still required to an extent. Well, challenge, I really mean, suffering the bullcrap, as I've said before. But yeah, you still have to suffer, is my point, to some extent, because you still have to beat it in platinum, but you have to do it only on UVH1, and you only have to do it one time. If you can try it multiple tries and finally get that one try, this video, it's easy because I'm using a modded gun, because I was over it, I didn't care. And I don't care if people do it. I beat him legit UVH6 true mode, which is all I cared about doing, is just doing it. After that point, I don't care if I use modded stuff. I really don't. And I encourage others to do it. If you're not using the meta build, then don't let them, take all the loot for themselves and you don't get any loot because you don't feel like doing those builds because you have your own enjoyment of a preference of a build. So screw that. Use a modded gun. 100% use a modded gun. I don't care. So yeah, that's what I'm doing in this video to get platinum rank immediately on UVH1. I'm sure my Ordnance Aimant and other builds I have could probably do it on platinum on UVH1 legit. I may try it at some point, but this video was my first time where it's like, oh, let's just see if this works. So of course I'm just going to use a modded gun to immediately see if it works. I'm not going to go through the suffering yet first. But this was my video where I showed that it does work. So UVH1, you want to beat them on platinum rank, and then when you're done, do not do anything else but just change your difficulty to easy mode. After you reach platinum time on UVH1 difficulty, much easier time to do it, then once you do it, don't go get your reward or anything, just leave the game, or not leave the game, go to your difficulty and change it to easy mode, and then it will force reload you back to the boss fight where you have to start it up again. But here's the big thing. One, you'll be on easy difficulty, so it's the easiest it can be at that point. Two, and the most important thing, there will be no timer and it will be considered platinum rank. Whatever rank you got on UVH1 is what will become the easy one if you reload the difficulty. And so every single time you fight them at that point until you leave the game or whatever, you'll get platinum rewards every single time, as if you're also on UVH1 too, not on easy. So very easy way, easy mode, easy difficulty, to farm the legendaries that he drops off this guy. So yeah, if you're like me and you don't feel like making the meta build, I could do that. It's not like I have the gear and the capability to make that build and also do it. I just don't want to because I don't want to do these builds. I never really liked the meta. I always want to try doing different things people don't do. So anyway, but yeah, that's the exploit. Very useful, and do it now because they'll probably get rid of it at some point. With that, I'll switch to where I actually Fight them the legit way.